Here we go. It's a public holiday, a Monday, but it doesn't matter because we're here for you. BackChat powered by Paywise. Lots to get through this week. Will Schofield, welcome. It's the morning. Where's the morning energy at?
Morning's fucking great. I feel excellent.
Up and about?
I feel absolutely excellent. We're always working. That's what we have on the wall. It says we're always working. No public holidays here. Mate, I'm up and about. I've enjoyed the scheduling of this weekend's fixtures. Like, we got Thursday night, we got double header Friday, we got Saturday, we got Sunday night footy, we got Monday.
We have a game today.
We should just play. We should go back to COVID and just everyone locked in their houses. No, we should go back to COVID scheduling and have a game every day. Just play every day, and you remember COVID? It was just a game every day.
That's
the best. Tuesday night footy.
It was actually the best.
Yeah, correct. So I reckon we should go back there. My energy's very high. Right. I'm in a mood today.
Yeah,
Great.
my energy's up too.
Yeah, Hamish, your energy must be up.
Yeah, I'm
After
currently
24 touches on Friday night.
Yeah.
Another win for East.
Another win
you
for the
guys
Mighty
are
Royals.
rolling.
Yeah.
Currently watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, who cares about the Royals?
1, 2, 3. Oh my God, Dominic Mysterio just won the Fatal 4-Way. Holy shit!
So I've seen
Rey Mysterio's kid.
Dominic.
There he is.
Hang on. So I've seen WrestleMania on. I've seen it.
It's over 2 nights.
Right. So
Frank's there, powered by Paywise. I'm powering Frank to go over to WrestleMania.
We're powering the WrestleMania.
We're powering WrestleMania.
So give me a high level. What's happened? So
Okay.
Rey Mysterio's child.
Rey Mysterio's child's just won the Fatal 4-Way, so he's
Fatal 4-Way.
yeah, just a
Is that 4 people in the ring?
Yeah, that's 4 people in the ring. So he's just won that. What else happened yesterday? Oh, there was a triple threat match between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. And Paul Heyman was CM Punk's guy. Used to be Roman Reigns' guy. Used to be Seth Rollins' guy. Now that he just turned on them all. Low blowed CM Punk in the nuts.
No.
Thought he was going to Roman. Gave Roman the chair. Roman smashed CM Punk. Then low blowed Roman. And then
There's a bit
Seth
of
won.
Aussie. Isn't Rhea Ripley going all right?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley's going well. She's jacked too. Gee whiz, she's a fucking strong
And
woman.
who's the other big rooster? He's the bad boy.
Yeah. His name is
bad
Nah,
boy.
he's the bad guy.
You know what I'm talking
I know.
The
I
heel.
saw it. Yeah, I
heel.
haven't watched a heap of it, but I'm just looking forward to see.
I asked about what's happened. You're like, oh, Jazz's dad's so he can come off the top.
Yeah. I'm looking forward for really wanting to watch John Cena. It's John Cena's farewell tour.
John Cena's still fighting.
Yeah, he turned heel against.
Turned heel.
Yeah, it means
Turned
he turned
bad.
to a bad guy against Cody Rhodes, and is now fighting in. I think it's the main event, and it's. I think that this would be his farewell tour. So one of my all-time favourites, John Cena, and I'll tune back into
That's
that later
enough
on.
out of the wrestling thing.
John, one last thing on
Hope you're doing
on
well,
wrestling. What's his name? Triple H just got inducted into the
I
Hall of Fame.
thought we were enough with wrestling.
No, just
yeah,
wait.
he
Well, I
did.
think he did an hour and 7-minute speech for.
Seems crazy.
Thanks, Jaiden. Thanks,
Jaden's
mate. Just throwing things while I'm trying to speak.
No, Jaden's a good one.
an hour and 7-minute
crazy.
long inductee speech to the
well.
Hall of Fame. So shout out to you, Hunter Helms. What's his name?
Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
There you go,
Triple H.
Hunter Helms.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Should we talk some
so
footy?
Back to my let's stop talking about wrestling. Thanks so much for the Triple H.
Just
update.
one note. We are recording this before the Cats play Hawks, so great game. I'm sure it was. What a game
Best
that was.
game ever.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's
Give me the
crazy.
review. Give the review.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy. We all thought that the Hawks last week was shit against Port. They've come back, didn't they? Silence all the doubters today.
Belt
Who was good?
them.
Who was the best player?
Tom Barras. It was weird. He kicked 14. They swung him forward, and TB kicked 14. It was really weird to see. Will Day came back early from injury and had 48.
Early. He actually played with crutches.
Yeah, played with crutches and
In
had 48
a moon
touches.
boot.
Nah, it was really crazy. Paddy Dangerfield was pretty good for the Cats, tried his guts out, but just couldn't stop the onslaught. They played with 14 on the field at one point, the Cats. They got some interchange things wrong. They were playing with 14 on the field for the first quarter, and it was just not going well. Chris Scott actually played in the second half. Nah, it was crazy. Cats, Hawks win 406-7.
Okay, great. There
7
you
rush
go.
behinds.
So
too.
if you didn't watch the game,
yeah, there you go.
don't bother because that's
the
what
recap.
happened.
Me and Jaiden were pretty close with that on Friday with the North game, by the way.
How happy I was
Oh,
firing
games
on
for
Friday.
bonus. Don't worry about that.
Scully, you found something this morning that you wanted to bring to the
Yeah.
table. Well, it wasn't on the run sheet, so I'm just going to throw to you now, and you give
Is
us.
this going to just lead us into the rest of this?
Yeah,
football
we'll
club?
talk footy after
Yeah,
this.
let's
We'll talk West Coast in general.
Yeah,
There's a fair bit
sure.
going
We can do
Heaps
that.
going on.
I'm just going to play this because this is dropped 20 minutes ago, and I laughed. All right, hopefully this works.
Rumour has it that a late-night encounter between a high-end Eagles official and Harley Reid's manager at the gather round eventuated in a heated discussion with the Eagles man demanding Reid sign for the Eagles. apparently Reid has 3 contracts with separate clubs.
Look, that's really hard shit. I just imagine there's a Nick Gation who Tom Barris's manager as
Put
well.
him up, Not even to Harley, just to Harley's manager. Just like walking around the toilet, taking a piss, and then just gets taken in the back.
He's like, I demand his signs. And like Gation's like, oh, yeah, fine, go on, sign.
Okay.
Sign. Don't hurt me.
I demand he signs.
Oh my God, like that sounds about right with the recruitment strategy of the West Coast Eagles.
Just Pikey lurking around corners, just
People
waiting.
remaking jokes. He's been watching Wrestlemania,
Wrestlemania.
like off the top of the turnstile. He's off the top of the cubicle, fucking taking out Nick Gation in the urinal. He's
Hey, at least they're being aggressive. About
Oh,
time.
fucking hell.
Oh my goodness gracious, mate! Look,
They
Do you
should do
believe-
it.
do you-
They should
okay,
do the
but do
Money
you
in the
believe
Bank.
this?
What they should do is they should do the Money in the Bank match and
I-
hang Harley's contract up there, and they've got to climb the ladder. A ladder match for Harley's contract. All the clubs that want to get in have a ladder match with Harley's contract hanging up there.
does the ladder match work? It's just first to the top of the ladder. Like,
So you got to climb the ladder and so the Money in the Bank
can
is.
you get like you know
Yeah.
you know when it's like Royal Rumble and they throw them out and you're out.
Nah,
in ladder
so
match it's just fight to the death.
It's just fight to the death.
Fight to the top of the ladder.
The Money in the Bank ladder match is they hang it's the contract for a world title up the top. They should hang Harley's contract up the top and have every club that wants it in the Money in the Bank ladder
I
match.
feel like AI is at the stage where we
We
make
could probably
this
do
happen.
that, yeah.
I say we do.
Even you could just go like download. You could get the WWE video game and just allocate every wrestler to a club.
Okay.
And say if auto match it, whoever wins gets Harley.
We're doing it. We're absolutely doing it. There you go. Demanding. Led us into something else, Dan. But I just
Yeah,
thought,
what a crazy
I
thing
just
to
thought,
demand.
I just thought, like, it doesn't even seem bizarre. Like, it sounds about on point with
and
how
what a
West
great
Coast are
way to
going
just
about
put the kid offside.
Yeah, great. Go grab his manager, put him in a cubicle, start bashing him up. Hey, sign, please sign.
All right, well, following that thing, I think the West Coast Eagles are being very aggressive, and an explosive report has surfaced that the Eagles are in the hunt for Marcus Bontempelli, and boy, oh boy, if he comes to the West, premierships forever. Will, do you believe, firstly, do you believe the thing around forcing Harley's signature, and also do you believe that the Bont is coming to the West Coast Eagles?
And seen in the same gather around cubicle, Marcus Bontempelli's manager.
Maybe it was Marcus Bontempelli. Maybe he was the one that was pressuring Guiche.
Let me tell you, Marcus Bontempelli is the best player in the league, right? But by so much, so far, like, did you see what he did last night?
He was exceptional.
He had 20 and 2 in the first half.
He was exceptional.
He's got a ponytail. Like, ponytail Bont, I don't
He looks like a samurai, like a little...
I don't think he can be beaten. As a person, as a player.
Person certainly not. Player, I
as
think
a captain.
maybe.
Like, this guy is just bleeding for his footy club. And I don't know why the Western Bulldogs haven't signed him up. This is Oscar Allen's situation all over again. West Coast signed Bont. He becomes captain without playing a game at the club.
Yep.
Right?
Instantly walks into the captaincy.
Wins the Brownlow. West Coast win the flag. That's what I think.
That's the script. That's the script.
Yeah. It seems a bit far-fetched that the guy who, for the last 10 years, has been in the top 2 or 3 best players in the competition.
And he's the best by so far. It's not even funny right now.
But he also has just been notoriously being underpaid on purpose. He has willingly been taking unders to try and get back to being in a premiership.
So now it's time
Seems
to
weird.
cash
I think it's
in.
cash in.
It's cash in.
Well, what's that $2 million contract you guys were talking about, Guiche, in the toilets? Let me have it. I'm coming over. It would just be baffling if he did come over. He won't. He'll sign it with the Bulldogs. He's a Bulldogs man.
I say he doesn't sign. I say he signs with West Coast. And got to be honest, love it. I couldn't find their next captain on the list, to be honest. So why not go and get the best captain in the world and just bring him onto the list?
Yeah, and it would be a good 2 or 3. It'd be probably 3 years of Bont being captain, and then give it to Brady Holt.
How old do you think Marcus Bontempelli is?
He's 29.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought he was in his 30s.
Yeah.
You're
He's
getting
still got like 5
Bont.
years of really good
5
football,
years
though.
of the Bont at West Coast would be so far the best player they've got by so far.
Yeah, and you just bridge the captaincy until Hoffy's old enough.
Got a lot of Gary Ablett about it,
Oh,
to be honest.
Yeah.
And he's better than Gaz.
And then he can do a little swan song at the end.
he's better than Gaz. No, he's not. Don't be silly. That's
score past
dumb.
that.
better than Gaz.
No, he's not.
He's better than Gaz. Way better than Gaz. He's just been playing.
You're obviously just trying to make
He's just been playing in midfields with Trelaw and Liberatore, who highlight of the year last night.
Hang on a
ran
minute,
down-
Gary Ablett wasn't playing in midfields with Bartel and Chapman and Selwood.
Don't worry about him.
The best
Tom
player
Liberatore
ever.
chased down Brad Hill
Oh my God, that
on
was so
the
good.
wing
That was
last
so
night.
crazy. That was fucking awesome.
I've never seen anything like that. Gee, that was good.
And you just see a man put his head down and gather momentum.
He's having one of the best years. He's all Australian guaranteed right now. He's having one of the best years.
He's been phenomenal.
You made a good point about Ablett being another good midfield, but I just
I thought I did make it. I
just think that Bont is the best player ever, both in stature and like. Remember we met him, Dan?
Oh my!
He's massive.
He is giant.
He's enormous.
He's so handsome.
He's
so
the night
ripped.
that Nat Fyfe won the Brownlow.
Yep.
For the second time.
Shirtless. Pick one.
No, I think that was
That's
the first
no,
one.
that's
That was his
the
first
first
one. The night he won the Brownlow for the second time, I was Nick Nat's guest. So I was his date because he didn't have a partner and I was in Melbourne. He's like, do you want to come? And I was like, yes. So I came and got absolutely pissed. And, everyone's rolling in. They're all I was on the list at the time, hadn't done anything. Second year in, I'm at the Brownlow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fyfey won it. I went up. I was up in his room with everyone just drinking. Somehow.
Not in his bedroom.
Yeah, up in his bedroom. He was having like an after party. And there was like, because he's...
Sorry, was he in the penthouse?
Yeah, he was in a penthouse. It's not just Fyfey's bedroom. It's like he's got a suite in there. And there's probably 50 people because, anyway. And I'm in his room.
This is a great insight.
Hammer's in there. Just drinking
big's the
away.
room?
It's massive. It's bigger than this.
Like multiple
place.
bedrooms?
Yeah. No, one bedroom, but like a... like
A living area.
A living area.
Why was he up there? We're going to get to the story, but like,
I think he
I've
was...
been around a couple of Brownlows and like the Brownlow guy stays downstairs. What was he doing up there?
No, this was like 1 a.m.
Perfect.
So anyway, we're back up there.
Back to Fyfey's room.
Yeah, back to Fyfey's room. Everyone's drinking. At this point as well, I've finished. This was the end of my second year at West Coast, and Freo. I was going to go to Freo. I was going to get traded to Freo, but not really traded. Like sold for a pack of chips and nothing else. And so my manager at the time was TLA Management Group. Jason Dover was Fyfey's manager.
Vacation.
Not Jason.
Is that Ben's
and
brother?
Everyone's pissed, and he's calling himself my captain. Fyfey. It was bizarre, just drinking. Anyway, Bont was there, and it gets fast forward.
Who's in this room? This sounds like one of the greatest.
Lock in. So here's fast forward. Think about this. Fast forward to 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
People are going to bed. I'm not. I'm having the best night of my life.
Yeah.
Nick, as my date, he's just like, all of a sudden he made one phone call and he was like, oh, Hammer, I got you a room here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about going home. Because I was going to catch a train home to Sandy, staying with Mum and Dad. He's like, oh, mate, I got you a room.
Stiff.
Here's your key.
Sleep in Fyfey's bed.
Here's your key, mate. So I was like, oh, perfect. Don't have to go home. Anyway, so at 3 in the morning, me, 20-year-old Hamish Brayshaw, who's done nothing with himself.
This is an untold story.
Yeah. Hamish Brayshaw, 20 years old, sitting at a private blackjack table.
What, you're back downstairs?
We're back downstairs with Brownlow medalist Nathan Fyfe, 2-time Brownlow medalist Nathan Fyfe.
Is he wearing it?
He's not. I think he might still be wearing it. Nick Naitanui, one of the best West Coast players of all time.
Yeah.
Travis Boak, the leading games record holder at Port Adelaide Football Club.
Captain Courageous.
And Marcus Bontempelli. And Hammer just sitting at a private blackjack table. And here I am just thinking, how does this... I've lost $100.
I was going to say, are the boys punting?
The boys are betting. And I'm, just...
Watching.
I'm betting. I had...
You're on those rookie wages while they're on.
I had $200. They had a bit more.
$200 for the year.
It was honestly like, I was looking around thinking, what the fuck is going on? How have I ended up here?
Fuck, that's good.
It was hilarious. If it was one of those things, like if you could pause it and take a picture, it just looks, that photo at New York in like the 1930s where it looks like there's a time traveler there? Have you seen that one? That was me. Hammer's just sitting there in a group of AFL Hall of Famers and
good.
probably a couple of legends. Of that, there'd be, do you reckon, who gets legend status there?
All of them, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, you have to be a legend.
And Hammer.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
We should recreate that scene in like 20 years.
Anyway, hilarious.
All right, there we go.
Where we going, man?
In a round full of upsets, the Fremantle Dockers were a part of what might be the worst loss of 2025 so far.
Wow.
Falling to the Demons by 10 points at the MCG on Saturday. Hamish, what is this Freo team and how are they dropping a game like this?
Oh, they're just shit. That's why. I've changed my tune on them. I had them premiership favourites. They're not going to win it.
Yeah.
They're
Are they going to make finals?
I think they'll sneak in, maybe.
How they do that right now?
And that's a great question. They've just it's. I don't know how they lose a game like this. Where are they? Like, I know how they lose. It's their style of ball movement. I've said it. I've been saying it for a long time. They just handball shape. It's like, just fucking kick the ball and make a contest, repeat.
I feel like they don't go forward with hands. And that's totally unqualified opinion, but watching.
They just try and use it perfect.
They make it too perfect. There's too many feedbacks and it invites pressure.
Yep.
If you watch GWS specifically, like I've watched a lot of their footy, They use diagonal forward handballs 10 metres to bolt blokes piss bolting forward.
Yep.
Freo don't do that.
No.
They're using shape, but they're not going anywhere. And then they just invite pressure, turn the footy over, get their pants pulled down by Melbourne.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Like their coach, Simon Goodwin, if they lost that, was getting sacked.
Yeah.
Yet Melbourne have made Freo look terrible.
It's just a matter of you just refuse to. We don't refuse to kick it, but the idea of finding the perfect play every time just doesn't work, and it's too hard. And if you have pressure on the ball, which Melbourne did, you can't do it, and they just couldn't. You've got Josh Tracy down the line, kick the ball to him. Just let him take a mark or let him kill the ball out of bounds and reset and do it again.
I've got another issue with Freo.
What is
and it is fantasy football related, so feel free to tune out if you like this, but it's actually relevant, right?
No, I'm a big fantasy football guy. Massive game actually coming up today.
So do I. I need Dylan Moore to go big. Anyway, the reason that it's relevant to real life is because these are the best players at Fremantle. Andy Brayshaw, Caleb Sarong and Hayden Young. They're the three best players, right? Josh Tracy, good. Sean Darcy, important. But those three are their best midfielders.
Yeah, correct.
Their time on ground at halftime. Caleb Sarong, 75%. Just ticked over 75%. He was at 74 for a long period and then got to 75. Hayden Young, 72%.
Not good enough.
And your brother, 69%. Now, he had a blood rule, I know. But Fremantle need to find a way to get their best players on the fucking ground. How is Andrew Brayshaw 69% at halftime?
He's the fittest bloke on the team. He could play the whole game.
I looked at Oliver and Petrarca and
Yep.
Viney. Petrarca was at 85 because he plays forward.
Yep.
I reckon Andy could kick goals if you put him there. Oliver was at 81 and Jack Viney was at 79 or something. Like that, their best players versus their best players. Melbourne had them on the ground like 20% more than the others. So
what was their total at the end of the game? I'm just going to check.
It had improved, but do you know what had happened at halftime? They'd put themselves in a position they couldn't win the game.
Yeah,
because
they were dust.
Fremantle haven't started well in games of footy for a couple of years. They went on a streak. They hadn't won a first quarter of footy in like 15 games.
Yeah.
Put your best players on the ground, get them to put yourself in a position to win, and then give them a rest. I think their midfield rotation. Like this is getting technical as well, and I'm sure someone will see this and have a cry about it. But like, to not have your best players on the ground and to be working rotations like that, I think that's an absolute butcher job. Absolute butcher job.
So next this Friday, Fremantle play, Adelaide at home. That's a tough one.
Oh, that's a toughie.
So we went through the games last week and sort of worked out they might be in okay shape, winning the right games here. But then they've got St Kilda.
They'll beat Adelaide.
Yeah, they'll bounce back.
You watch, they'll beat Adelaide. They will, but keep going.
So that's what. So they got St Kilda, and then they have what was the last one here? I've lost. Oh, then they got Collingwood on Thursday night.
Collingwood are the best, so that's going to be tough. But yeah, they're just, I don't know, it's something weird because they've got all the pieces to a puzzle that's just not currently sitting right. They're doing the puzzle upside down or back to front, or the puzzle isn't. They just need to twist it properly.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's real bad. Dan, I'm going to put one in here without notice,
Sure.
and it's around West Coast because I know we're about to move on to the rest of the AFL.
Yeah, let's just keep talking West Coast.
So,
Worst team.
Yeah. All right, so great job. Lost by 2 points to Essendon.
Should have won the game.
Awesome.
Wide land play on.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Oscar Allen, the captain,
Yep.
doesn't play.
Managed.
Managed.
With air quotations.
Which
around managed.
I don't know what managed means. Anyway.
Managed means dropped, and I've just said, let's go managed. That has to be what drop means. That's what managed means.
I just think, I thought about this on the way in. I just think this situation with Oscar Allen is one of the great butcherings that you will ever see from a football club and a player, let alone your captain.
Yep.
They have not signed him. So clearly they think his knee is not signable to the contract he wants.
Correct.
That's, I think, fair enough.
I agree.
But if that's the case, and you told him or he knows that the contract you're offering is nowhere near anyone else's, and then you go and have conversations with other football clubs and it gets out, i.e. Sam Mitchell's situation, how they have rolled him out on the far side of the oval at Lathlane
To
Park
apologise.
in a black West Coast
I've
shirt.
never seen that training kit ever.
Yeah,
Never seen it once.
It was brown.
Yeah.
with Woosher in the background, like he's his bodyguard, how you actually butcher that so badly to the point that your captain is that inundated mentally that he can't play and managed. That is one of the great butcherings you've ever seen by West Coast. And people getting threatened in toilet to gather around and your captain not having a contract and the football club just being in one of the all-time worst positions ever. And the effort was great on the weekend. I'm sure fans, Dan, you would have loved it, right?
The game was stolen from us.
I just can't get over how much you can butcher your captain not having a contract and then making him feel so ashamed that he's had a conversation elsewhere because you wouldn't sign him.
While you're having conversations
while you're demanding players in toilets to gather around. It's one of the great butcherings. It makes me so angry.
What would you do? So this situation, and I think it's fair enough from both parties. I've got no issue with both parties. West Coast don't think your knees... You've got two bung knees, you've got a couple of bung shoulders, you're 26 years old and your body's gone through hell.
Fair.
I don't want to sign you for 6 years. I might give you 4 or 3.
Fair decision.
Oscar, I want more than that. Fair enough. You're an athlete. You want to get as much out of yourself as you can. So that is coming to a head. And that's not like it's $100,000 different in a contract that you can sort of wiggle to 50. It's 3 or 4 years or whatever the big contracts are. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. And it's tough to find a middle ground there. So you're butting heads on that. What would you do as West Coast in terms, because they fucking love making statements, what's the statement you make after that happens? Do you just come out and say, hey, this is exactly what's happened?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you do. I think they just come out, and I think Oscar would be the same. Like, hey, guys, this is where we're at. I want to get the most out of myself. I love the footy club. We just can't. It's not. We're trying to get there, but we can't at the moment.
There'd be no loss for West Coast coming out and having the discussion you just had and said, we want Oscar. He is our captain.
Yeah.
We'd love him to be the captain for the rest of his career. We just can't justify putting this contract in front of him, but we are working on it. Yeah. And we'd like to keep talking about it.
And also, we love Oscar, and if he, we're open to him exploring. If someone can give him 6 years, we're happy for Oscar to get 6 years.
Correct.
I think that's...
Oscar comes out and goes, guys, I want to sign with West Coast. I'm West Australian and I'm the captain.
Yep.
But right now, it's not where it needs to be, and I need to go and talk to other clubs, which I'm doing. And you've found out about it. I'm not going to go and stand on the far side at Lathlane, basically at Laker Cafe, in my bloody trench coat, and say that I'm ashamed, embarrassed, and I'm sorry I let the whole world down.
He should have said no to that. He shouldn't have. Imagine if he just said, "I'm not doing
pretty
it."
sure that was that Simpsons clip with like the guy holding speakers. Like I'm pretty sure it was that. With the gun
this
in
is
his back.
Nick Gation had the same gun in his bag.
He should have. He should have
signed.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
So if they didn't do the apology thing, would this situation not be as bad? Is that the thing that's actually tipped? So because apart from that, everything else is like, well, they're just being aggressive.
Well, they've put the entire thing on Oscar Allen, but this is a two-way street, mate.
Yep.
This is the club as much as it is Oscar, and that's okay.
But no, that's the thing. No one, like, if you know what's happening, if you don't just... So a lot of people just think, oh, I'm closing my eyes to any real... I don't care about what the contract situation is. I just care about, it's a captain, he's looked elsewhere. If you actually pay attention to what's happening, it's such an obvious and an easy resolution into an easy thing to understand.
Why is
the club doesn't want to sign him for a long-term contract because his body is questionable. He wants to get a long-term contract because his body's questionable and he wants to get the most out of his career. Easy.
Why isn't the club out at Burswood Park doing a presser, Pikey or Minnie or whoever, and saying, I'm ashamed and embarrassed we haven't signed our captain? Why aren't they doing that? Why is he the one? Why is he the one?
Well, because they're not ashamed and embarrassed they haven't signed their captain.
Well, he shouldn't be ashamed and embarrassed.
He shouldn't be either.
The great butcherings you've ever seen.
It is a great butchering.
God.
There's just a lack of transparency.
Go West Coast.
On average, according to the internet, 3 coaches will resign or be sacked each year in the AFL, and this year looks to be no different. With potentially, according to the internet, like I said,
is that ChatGPT?
No, that was Google AI, the one that where you just search that tells you things. This year looks to be no different. So, does it feel? I'll put this to both of you. Does it feel like earlier in the season than usual, coaches are being told they're going to probably be fired, and who would we say is on the chopping block right now?
Well, I also think that the biggest thing right now is there's 4 majorly good coaches available at the end of this year. Simo wants
Horse,
to coach.
Buckley.
Guarantee wants to coach. Yeah. John Longmire, you'd think he wants to coach again. Yeah. I don't know.
That feels Tassie to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Horse feels Tassie.
We've got Ken Hinkley.
Yep,
Right?
he'll get
Good
fired.
coach.
Good coach. And
after
will
his
get fired,
lynching.
yeah.
He's going to go through his lynch mob first.
If he survives. Yep.
And then we've got Nathan Buckley,
Buckley.
who I think clearly wants to coach. Otherwise, he would have just
Desperately
come out and been like, I've got no interest in coaching.
Desperately
ever
wants to
again.
get back into it, yep.
So there's 4 like gun coaches.
Yep.
So if you're a football club right now and your team is
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
and it's because of your coach, you're probably looking at it.
Yeah.
Dare I say, the boners will be having a look, mate.
No, we won't.
The boners will be having a look.
Would they
No,
be
we-
better
no.
coaches than Alistair Clarkson though?
No.
Freo will be having a look.
Freo will be looking, but the bonus won't be looking. Don't worry.
Melbourne will be having a look.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Western Bulldogs are having a look, even though Beveridge is trying to shut it all down. They'll be having a look.
Yeah.
So there's 4. Could we
Everyone outside the top 4 will be having a look. Like you have to have
Ross
a look.
Lyon, if Ross Lyon,
You have to have a look.
If Saints are- if
You
they
would
go
not be
downhill.
doing your due diligence as a club if you're not having a look at those
Is West
guys.
Coast having a look? Like, is West Coast?
Nah,
getting-
West Coast aren't having a look.
What about gather round? Was there any coaches in the
Yeah.
game?
Adamuze, surely he's safe for a bit.
They're safe. You think Clarko's safe?
Clarko is safe, yeah. Happy with Clarko.
Who else is bad? Like Goody needed that win badly.
Yeah, Goody desperately needed that win. Brad Scott.
Brad Scott, yeah,
Brad
maybe.
Scott, they're
But
having a look.
No, I
think
reckon
they're
they
having a look.
committed. I was talking to
I reckon Essendon are having a look.
the Rob from the Sash. He reckons they committed to him last year. They said whatever happens for the next few years, you're our guy.
Yeah, but like that happens all the time. And then whatever happens is like, oh yeah, but we're really hoping we get better. And if we don't, then it comes back on you.
We could see 4 from 4. All 4 of those coaches back in at the end of this year. I reckon.
Potentially.
Imagine that.
Simo just getting paid $1 million
if-
to have a year off.
So if we have to
Just
place,
roll it by Paywise,
if you have to place them, place those 4. I've got. Can I do it?
You can do it. I think.
So let's go.
I think Horse goes to Tassie.
Horse to Tassie.
Horse goes to Tassie. Yep.
Horse to Tassie, and he starts next year, like in the VFL or whatever.
Yeah, whatever they play. Yep, I think so.
Simo to Melbourne.
He would do good with that.
I've got Nathan Buckley, just like Mick Malthouse did, going to Carlton.
Would be massive.
And then,
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about Voss.
who's my third guy? Who's my 4th guy?
Ken Hinkley.
Ken Hinkley goes to the Bulldogs. Wow. And Beveridge goes to somewhere else.
Freo. He did say like I won't be coaching anywhere else, but is that's just
shut
lip
him up.
service?
Just shut him up. There you go.
Adam Simpson to Fremantle. Imagine that. His family still lives here. Still powered by Paywise. Nah, I don't know.
Simo goes to Freo.
I don't know. I just it's
I'm not trying to end anyone's careers here, by the way.
No, it's just
Just hypothetical.
it's a tough time to be a coach.
Coaching would suck so much. I feel for every head coach there is out there.
Worst job in the AFL.
Damien Harwick hates playing at Marvel, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
even when he coaches Gold Coast.
Yeah, fucking hates it there.
All right, give it to us, Jaiden.
You've got the touch.
You got the power.
All right, so we don't have the full array of games being played so far with this game. We're doing it before. So Jack Buckley medal.
I was meant to do this, wasn't I?
How do we? how are we doing this, Hammer?
How
Yeah,
would
no,
you say we're going?
No. Okay, well, here's an update on how we're going. We're going really well.
Did you almost say poorly?
I nearly did, and then I realised how well we're going. So, look, Jaiden and I have been across things, but we haven't been across things at the same time.
Is it fair to say Jaiden's got nothing to do with this? It's all you. All Jaiden.
Yeah, I feel like you throw Jaiden.
No.
Jaden's just fucking trying to-
We're a well-oiled machine. Jaiden and I are a very well-oiled machine here.
Have you done the votes this week?
Well, no, because the games haven't all been finished. So there's no point doing the votes yet because we've got some really good defenders about to play today. So what I was thinking about the votes is...
You're just thinking right now.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't going to do them until the end of this day. So I'll do them after today's game.
Yeah.
And I will video myself giving the votes tomorrow. How about that?
You wear a tuxedo and pretend you're Andrew Demetrio.
No, I'm going to just hold I'm going to hold someone up in the toilets and give the votes. Nah, but look, in all seriousness, the way that the votes are working at the moment are good. I'm happy with how they're working.
They're good.
I'm just not presenting them well.
No, you're not.
I've presented them poorly.
Yeah, you have.
And it's no one's fault other than I have to take the blame myself.
Yeah.
Because we work through it, Jaiden and I send him the right stuff and then read the wrong stuff. Like we're a well-oiled machine. There's just a kink in it at the moment.
How's the algorithm looking?
Algorithm's great, mate. Yeah. Algorithm doesn't miss. Look, it doesn't miss. And if you look at the leaderboard, like Sam Taylor's on top, Sam Collins is around the mark, Harris Andrews is around the mark. It doesn't miss. The algorithm's perfect.
How's your just a little
Very happy with the algorithm.
Hammer's happy hour little
Yeah,
update.
of course.
How's your bets going over there?
Oh, disappointing.
I'm just looking at this one.
No, we weren't.
Fremantle to win.
Yeah,
that
was
didn't
bad.
happen.
That didn't happen.
Under 1675.
Blew it out.
Yep. Cosy Pickett have 20.
Yeah, easy. Tick.
You should have had Cosy Pickett have 20 and kick 100 because he was amazing. Best player in the AFL.
He was very good. Yeah.
And Andrew Brayshaw have 25.
Yeah, that was a tick. That was an easy game.
He had 25.
Yeah, he had 32, I think.
Did well to do that with 43% game time.
No, he was exceptional, Andrew. I actually thought he was probably he was the second best player on the ground because he was number one, obviously.
53 touches he had.
He's really good. Look, the bets have been going okay. I won the first one. Actually pissed the first one in, and that was 550. So that gave us 5 games of wiggle room.
You keeping a tally?
No.
Like we discussed?
Yeah, but I didn't. And I'll have to go back and I'll go and have a look at that. But look,
If you get on the same page as Jaiden on that,
we can get on the same page. We're actually on the same page. We are 2 parts of the same page.
In fairness, Jaiden thought we were recording the show at Footy Cast.
No.
Like just as we were about to hit record on this, he was like, what's the Hammer doing here? Fucking hell. You had to click
look at your
yourselves in the
calendar.
shape.
It was like, speaking of Hammer's Happy Hour, if you want to do yourself a favour and go listen to last Friday's episode, it was just an hour of just giggling.
You came out and you texted as you left because you ran out the door. You said, just so you know, that's the funniest hour of podcasting ever recorded.
in here.
You did say in here, didn't
In
you?
here, yeah, I did say in here. But it was just fucking hilarious. Like, just at every possible chance for something to go wrong, it did. And it was just great.
Zoob's on.
Zoobs was on, yeah. You saw him at the garden.
Yeah, I did. He was filthy about fucking Izovidovic, whoever did him on the number.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
ChatGPT saying Michael Tuck.
Shout out
War
TABtouch.
number 5. Shout out TABtouch.
there we go. All right, in a very Collingwood move, the Magpies destroyed the reigning premiers on Thursday night, beating the Lions by 52 points. Will, the Magpies have won 5 in a row, 2 against last year's grand final teams. Are they premiership favourites right now?
Let me tell you what I did on Thursday night when this game happened. I watched the footy.
And a million,
Hey!
and a million beers.
And I won't say which broadcast it was. It was Channel 7. I would have heard 20 times towards the end of that game, geez, Magpies travel well. Geez, they're good travellers. Geez, they play well on the road. What are we fucking talking about? The Magpies...
I saw that on Twitter too, from
Mag-
I think the official AFL account.
Because it was said 100 times on the broadcast how well the Magpies play away from home. They play 3 times away from home, and even when they do play away from home in Melbourne, they're playing at bloody Colonial. So
That's a throw.
that's just a little. That's a little.
Yeah, the sidebar.
They are premiership favourites.
Yes,
Collingwood,
absolutely.
And I say, hats off to you, the Collingwood Football Club, because everyone, including me, thought you're going to be shit, and you're not. And you're that well drilled, and you're that experienced, and you're that good that you may just win the flag, which is just outrageous behaviour, and I love it. And it's just my Collingwood appreciation. Like well done, Collingwood.
Next week they play Essendon.
They win
right?
by a lot.
That's the Anzac Day clash, which is always a big game. They'll play that. So then they have after that Geelong and then Fremantle. If they go 3-0 after this,
They're already favourites. They're premiership favourites right now. No one in the world had them,
No,
other than
premiership
Collingwood fans, which is fair enough,
favourites, yeah.
had them after 6 rounds favourites for the premiership.
No, certainly not.
Good on them. Fucking good on them.
They're
Brilliant.
It's funny to look at it because you look at West Coast 3-4 years ago. They went all in on experience. They held on to their older guys and they wanted to go for it again. They did what Collingwood have done, but it didn't work for West Coast because their older players just stopped being good and hurt themselves. Collingwood's older players, like Steele Sidebottom.
He's still their best player.
Steele Sidebottom and Scott Pendlebury. What is going on?
Pendles must just fucking love playing with Nick Dacos. I watch Pendles.
Does Pendles break the record for the all-time games?
I hope so.
I think he gets to 450.
He says at stoppages, right? I was watching him. He's just like, I'm not running anymore. Like, I don't need to because I've got Nick Dacos, the best player in the world other than Mark Bontempelli.
I think Dacos is better.
Anyway, Pendlebury just stands there and distributes, mate. And he would just be like, this is that good. I've got this little whippersnapper.
Yeah.
You see Dacos' eyes light up. He's just looking for Pendlebury because he's like...
knows I'm going to get it.
Big pillar of Gibraltar. No, what is it? Rock of Gibraltar.
And I know I'm going to get a touch off him.
He gets 3 touches every time Pendlebury hits the ball. It's like bang, 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 bang.
But like,
fuck, it's good.
They are so quick with the ball. Every one of their players can kick the ball really, really well.
Surprising that makes a good football side.
They can kick the football exceptionally well.
Surprising.
They've added Tim Membry into the list. They've added Dan Houston, who hasn't. He's obviously just punched someone in the head again.
Dan McStay's back in business.
They're just really good.
Darcy Moore
Darcy Moore's playing good
Jack
footy.
Buckley.
He's playing really good footy.
Because I didn't believe you, because I hadn't been watching Collingwood.
Yeah, no, he's been
and
playing
you're
good footy.
spitting out fives for Darcy Moore, and we'd seen in the last couple of years not getting
No,
fives.
but he's been back to his best.
He's back in business.
Split his inner ear open.
Yeah, you got need in the face.
Need in the ear and like burst that little bit
Yeah,
in there.
it did
that
not look good.
That looks shit. But
looks
yeah, they're
amazing,
just Josh Dacos as well. The stiffest bloke ever to be like still so underrated because
like you.
No, well, nowhere near like me. Premiership player, All Australian, and the Copeland Trophy winner in the Premiership year. And still, you're not the best. Your brother's still way better than you. But like, yeah,
Pete probably tells him that he's the best.
all the talk, like it was a battle of the brothers on the weekend, and they just pissed all over the Ashcrofts. Just
didn't
pissed
they?
on them. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, Collingwood are really good, and it kills me.
Yeah,
but they're just
too.
exceptionally good at football.
You got to shout out when it's good.
Shout out,
when
yep.
you're good. When you're good.
Tip your hat to him. Well done,
Shout out to
Pies.
Collingwood. All right, Port Adelaide's Aliria found himself face to face with a fan near the goal square after he had a small flag thrown at him by a Sydney supporter over the fence.
Yep.
The fan was removed from the stadium and interviewed by the police. Hammer, are fans getting out of control, or are we getting soft?
Interviewed by the police is a bit silly.
Can you take us into the interview? What happened down there?
The interview was, mate. Okay, gun to your head. Did you throw? Did
West Coast senior officials in there somewhere.
Did you throw a fan at Aliria? Yes, I did. We actually already knew that because we saw it on camera. Don't do that again, please. Okay, mate. Thanks very much. Don't come next week. That's it. That was the interview with a gun to his head. Bizarre. But yeah, look, it's
I felt for the poor kid. He looked. I was.
don't do that.
He looked frightened, mate.
Firstly, don't do that. Like, don't throw something at a player.
Fair from Aaliyah to be like, don't
Yeah,
do
hey
that.
mate, don't do that. But like,
Apparently he didn't swear, which I respect.
yeah,
But someone right there was like,
Oh, yeah.
what did he say? And he was like,
Just
not
play-
cool, man.
yeah, but
not
like,
cool.
yeah. At the same
I
time,
would have been swearing. I can tell you that, right?
yeah, I would have just thought Aaliyah's handled that pretty well. Hey mate, like, just please don't do that again. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Move on. It's a fan. But like at the same time, yeah, the fans are getting pretty rowdy. So how does that guy get taken for a police interview? But the bloke who threw homophobic slurs at Harley Reid and the other guy who was given real personal attacks at Paddy Dangerfield,
And
just get to walk away
Yeah.
scot-free.
All right, boys.
Don't worry about nothing
to
to see here. But hang on a minute, a fan? Get out of here. Yeah.
Why do you have a fan?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like it was
a flag.
It was
That was a fan.
it? Was it an AFL
Oh, it
record?
was an AFL record.
No, it was a fan.
Yeah, just
it was literally a
He's
fan.
hot.
It was. I can't say it more times. It was a fan. It wasn't a flag.
A fan?
Well, it was a record. No, it was a fan.
Yeah, a fan, wow.
It wasn't a fan. Like,
Did he fold
like
the
a
record
person.
into a fan?
No, it was a
might have
fan.
done. Yeah,
like
yeah.
Sydney were handing out fans.
Okay.
I can only assume that Sydney were doing that to take the attention away from how shit their ground was. You want to see that?
No.
Yeah, it looked
Mate,
woeful.
Andre Bocelli or someone played there 3 weeks ago. One of the 10 tenors or whatever they are. Mate,
Andre Bocelli.
Andre
look it up,
Pacelli.
look it up.
Yeah,
Look it up.
I know who that is, but did he actually play?
Look it up.
Yeah, he did. No, I don't need to
Oh,
look
it
up.
could have
He
been his
did.
son. It could have been his son.
No, Andrea
Rey
Bocelli
Mysterio,
sang-
Andre Bocelli played a concert at the
Actually,
SCG.
speaking of what's happening at WrestleMania.
So, mate, they've played. Can you pull up any photos, Jaiden? Or are you
Of Andre
capable over
Bocelli?
there? We are doing BackChat, not Show Footycast at the moment. It was one of the worst surfaces to be played an AFL game on in the last 20 years. Hammer.
Yeah.
Just come on, get off for
Logan Paul's fighting
Get
AJ
off
Styles.
it,
Anyway,
get
keep
off
going.
it. Right? SCG, blokes couldn't keep their feet. Like, people were getting the ball, standing still and falling over. It was disgraceful.
Sinking sand.
It looked so bad.
That's
Can you get a
shit.
photo up of it all, Jaiden? Have a little look at it. It was one of the worst you've seen.
And so
it
the
was
10
off the
tenors.
back-
The 10 tenors.
It was the back of the 10 tenors playing there at the SCG. They packed it out. Sold
Good
out
on 'em,
stadium,
yeah.
but they fucked the grass.
Yeah,
they haven't done
disappointing.
it. They haven't done a concert at the SCG since 2017, and they decided, 2025, new decade, new me. Let's fuck the oval.
New year,
and,
new me.
and,
Let's
mate,
get the 10 tenors out there.
It was
Just really butchered
disgraceful.
it. That's disappointing.
And then they lost. And then
Yeah, they
themselves
were-
to blame. Sydney. Are Sydney really shit?
Yep. Can Cox coach?
A Sydney Swans fan.
Wow.
Can Cox coach? Is Cox out the door?
Can Dean Cox coach?
I'm not
That's a big
speaking
question.
about
Well, can he?
Well, I don't know. We don't know, but it doesn't look like it.
What's changed? Their team hasn't got any different.
I'll tell you what's happened.
Right, Chad
They
Walton's gone.
they've been blood bathed in 2 grand finals in the last 3 years, and they've completely cooked themselves mentally. I've seen it happen before. Been involved in teams. West Coast 2015, mentally fragile, gone. Took us 2 years to recover. That's what's happened at Sydney. It's nothing to do with Coxie.
Good.
The players are just cooked.
You
There
heard
you
it
go.
here first. Coxie's can coach.
Jaiden, do you have anything from the nothing? Okay. No worries,
Thanks, Jaiden. You just got the internet at your fingertips and you can't find a fucking photo of the SCG.
Let's move on. 82 points was the final margin that the Boners lost by against Carlton on the weekend. That's 11 points worse than the West Coast Eagles. I'm not sure what to ask you, Hammer, but are you doing all right? Are you how are you feeling?
How the bonus going?
I thought they were back.
How are you going?
But are they? Where are they?
How do you think you're feeling? Like hard, flaccid?
Like a
Nothing?
turtle in its shell.
What to say about the bonus?
I mean, it's probably not good.
That's not good. No, it's not good.
Tell us about the bonus.
I thought they were well and truly back.
Give us a breakdown about the bonus.
We were back. We were certainly back. And
After
then
you
we
beat
were-
Melbourne.
After we beat Melbourne, we were back. We then copped Adelaide at Adelaide. Tough. Really tough
No,
game.
I agree with that.
You guys thought you were
Adelaide,
going to win that, though.
Adelaide at Adelaide was tough.
You're never going to win that.
We then got Sydney, who had bounced back and remembered that they were really good.
So it was round 2 when you were back.
Yeah, we were back at round 2. And then we just got Carlton and got licked. Now, Carlton aren't good.
You can't just skip over getting done by Sydney Swans after you've just teed off at Sydney. They beat you by 10 goals.
I know they did. We, no, look, here's the
And
SCG.
Gold Coast beat you by 10 goals.
No, we weren't great. Here's the SCG. Let's have a look at it.
Oh,
there's
whoa.
a couple of hots.
People can't even stand up. Look at it. Oh, people literally.
great.
Look, people can't even stand up. Or every one of those players just fallen over.
There's divots everywhere.
Yeah, you can see.
Mate, radically, watch it. Isaac Henny.
Isaac Henny slips. Get the long stops out.
None of them can stand up. Watch every player. Radical legs just falling over. All right, thank you, Jaiden.
Okay, no, but look, seriously, the bonus were like it just hurts to see how shit we are.
You lost by 80 points.
Yeah, we were fucking rubbish, and it's like we don't have all the pieces. We've got a couple of really good pieces. Okay, we're just going through the
notes of Jaden's laptop.
anyway.
Very
it's-
Nick Wessel about
George
that.
Wardlaw, star. Really happy with George Wardlaw. Good to have him back. Attacks the Sharon harder than most. But our bottom 10 aren't good at all. And our top 10 are still really talented, but just young. And it's like, you can't put it all together. And it just is, it fucking kills me. Like, why are we shit? Obviously, we're not very good, but like, it
we
just,
shit? We're obviously not very good.
Fucking, like,
Clarko looked very upset.
yeah.
Like,
and I love that. Love
like,
to see the passion.
He looked shattered.
Yeah. And because he'd wound him up. Like, wound him up in the week, hey boys, we need to fucking respond. And instead of responding, they went out and just
Lost by 80.
Lost by 80. Filled a bathtub full of shit and just bathed in it. Just diarrheaed all of them in a tub and just went for a swim.
If West Coast
It
played
was-
North Melbourne this week, who would win?
West Coast. West Coast would win that
You
game.
think
reckon?
West Coast would beat North Melbourne?
At the moment,
I don't
yeah.
agree with that.
At the moment, yeah. No, look, it's disappointing, but there were signs. There were signs of us being there.
What signs?
Wardlaw's good. He's back.
No, Georgie's good.
He's back.
George,
He's back.
Just-
Just get the ball into Nick Larkey. Get the ball into Suv. Best forward in the comp.
Did you see the text floating around from Georgie back in the day? Gee, that was good.
You got so you got Port Adelaide next. Winning that one?
We bounce back.
All right.
We bounce back.
Who are they playing next?
Port
Adelaide.
I'll tell you what.
Well,
we
tell us.
take North Melbourne, thanks to TABtouch, take North Melbourne at the line this week.
Oh.
Because it'll probably be something like 66 and a half. And we won't lose by that much.
Then you'll cover that.
We'll definitely
So
cover
you
that.
guarantee you won't lose by 12 goals.
You got Port, then Essendon,
Both winnable.
We go 2 from 2.
then Brisbane,
Yeah, we
then
win.
Brisbane.
At the Gabba or at Marvel?
That is in Hobart.
Oh, that's us. That's our, that's us.
Hobart.
Our spiritual home.
Okay, and then Richmond.
And, yeah, we win that.
Wow, so you might be back.
I think we're back.
Are you going 4 from 4?
We'll go 3 from 4. We'll go
That's
3
fair.
from 4. Yeah, I think so.
All right, we've got a couple of fine. Actually, we've got one fine.
Well, hang on a minute. What, can we just, as you just mentioned Richmond there at the end, have we spoken about the fact that they let Noah Balta play?
No, we haven't.
No, we have
Close
not.
to it.
Like, the AFL have done some really bad things in their time. And, like, I've been a critic of theirs.
Have you?
I've been a big critic of theirs, and I've said a few things about them and the way they handle themselves in certain situations.
What was I don't remember.
Any
you doing
feedback from last week?
Nah.
People loved it.
Did you get a call from Dills?
Nah, Dills was pretty happy with it. I actually think they've wired Ken 20, so that's good.
Oh, no.
This was their worst.
Worst.
This was their worst. Easily their worst.
I agree.
So, yep, you get your concussion stuff, you got your MRO shit, you've got finding Ken 20,000 and then using it for promotion. This was easily their worst, and they let down everyone. To go out and just say, Noah Balta, they were so gutless in this situation that they have wiped their hands clean of anything and said, oh, Richmond, we're going to leave it up to you. Like, no AFL, you're the governing body of this whole competition. Go out there and just say, we cannot stand by a guy who's punched someone in the face, pled guilty, is waiting trial on Tuesday, tomorrow, and we're going to let you play. A 4-game suspension is enough for us. He might go to jail for a year. Who knows? And the AFL has just said, in as gutless a performance as I've ever seen, I don't want to have to make a ruling on this. I'm going to pass the buck away. You should have just stood up and said, you can't, we're not going to let him play. He is not to play AFL football until the justice system of Australia has passed judgment.
So I spoke this.
It's ridiculous.
I spoke about this on the Shelter Footycast that I didn't really put any blame on Richmond. Like Richmond are there to win games of footy, and
they did.
I know there's the social. Yeah, and they did.
And they did.
And I know that everyone wants the moral high ground to be held by the clubs and the social enterprise. I'm going to throw out some other names that don't mean anything, but like. It shouldn't be up to Richmond to be the moral compass for society. That they're there to win games of footy, and they're going to go, well, you've suspended him. We actually kept him out a week longer, and we're going to play him unless you tell us we can't. The AFL needed to say
you can't
play him, and Richmond then wouldn't have played him. There would have been zero kickback if he hadn't have played on the weekend. People wouldn't have been up in arms going, I can't believe Noah Balta's
ridiculous.
Whereas, and if we just shift from the AFL to just the general federal judicial system, I bet you he gets nothing. I bet you he gets absolutely stuff all. He'll be on community service, which was another point. But I'm not going to talk about that because it's probably laced with legalities that I have no idea about. And I don't want any of my words coming out of my mouth now to be used against me in court.
Like there is nothing that the AFL, like there is seriously, like they have all these rounds. They do all this stuff. Like the violence against women stuff they did where everyone stood around in a circle, that was their, thing around that. They've got, great. But like, how can you possibly take them seriously on any social issues anymore? No matter what they, it's like we stand behind police brutality. Okay, sweet. We'll fucking do something about it. We stand behind no violence. Well, you've just let a bloke who king hit a guy go and play football. You've just got, like, if you had one leg to stand on and it was a shaky pirate wooden leg, that wooden leg has been eaten by termites and now you're rolling on the floor because it was fucking abysmal. Yeah. Shame on the AFL. That was so bad. So bad.
Agree.
Is that wooden leg thing an actual saying, or did that just...
That just came to me.
That just came to you?
Yeah, it just came to me.
I like that a lot.
There's nothing that's ever come out of Hannah's mouth. Actually.
Things just come to me. But yeah, it was just...
It was shit.
It was shameful and it was an absolute disgrace, and they should be really... Well, they won't take any ownership of it, but it was just... Yeah, it was despicable.
Yep.
Jaiden, got a fine for us, mate. Thank you.
G'day, legends. And Dan, got to be quick. We're heading out to a Good Friday lunch. But a $2 preemptive fine for all the fans who jump back on board tonight once we beat the Bombers. Talking Eagles fans, obviously. Look, a lot of fans turning on each other, turning on the club, saying we're shit, saying we're not going to win a game, that we're hopeless. The club's the worst it's ever been. Look, maybe. But when we win tonight and everyone's coming back going, the Eagles are fine, $2 fine. $2 fine for deserting the club and come back on. Anyway, Eagles are winning tonight. Up the Eagles. Let's go.
This is bloody good. So this is pre-Eagles game. And it would have looked like a just absolute champion if West Coast had got the job done, which you could have, Dan, but you didn't. Did you like that game on the weekend, Dan?
It was good. I think... So I took my son and he got to about 3/4 time before he's like, can I watch something on your phone? I'm like, mate, we're in a good game.
Yeah, actually, you can.
We're in a good game of footy right here.
Mate, KO.
yeah, he's
Watch a bit closer.
No, it was very good. I was screaming. It felt good to be excited, to be up and about with the game. And then that feeling, I've always just said, like, we don't need to win every game. I just want to be competitive, just want to be in it. Yeah. And then when you don't win, I felt really shit about not winning it. So
that is one thing I've been doing, is watching a lot of KO. And just so you know,
yes,
you can't watch every game anywhere else other than KO. Like, you can do it on Channel 7 if you like, but it's not going to be live.
Yep.
KO Sports is where to do it, Dan.
Saturday.
Just so you know.
If you want to watch all the games on Saturday, definitely need to be on with KO.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Every game. It's the only place to do it. There's no other answer. The entire marketing campaign for KO should be, if you want to watch footy, just get us.
Yeah.
Because anywhere else, can't do it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's big news out of that one. So Draper does his Achilles, which is a brutal loss after they lost their other ruckman to an ACL. Yeah. And then Sam Darcy.
Oh boy, fears.
Sam Darcy, I don't know if the news has come out. Everyone's saying ACL, and there was footage of
there
was footage of Luke Darcy and I don't know his wife's name, but being sort of consoled. So I just don't know Luke Darcy's wife's name. Mrs. Darcy being consoled by like a trainer or something. Yeah. So it looks like they're sort of telling him the worst of the news. That's brutal.
If you had to put in a dictionary or thesaurus or even a YouTube like walkthrough of how to do your ACL and what it looks like,
That's the textbook way to do it.
Sam Darcy. And I'm not laughing. That's just grim.
He was having a blinder, and so what? Now that's a 12-monther, right?
Oh, yeah.
So back for middle of the next season.
Yeah, but like for a player like that at his age and his capabilities, like if it takes 18 months, you're not going to rush that. That's one that you just get right.
So you reckon he might not play next year?
Well, it'll be 12 months is now.
He'll play round 1 next year if it all goes well. Yeah, I mean, like it's
Yeah, true. He play. I mean, if it all goes well,
we're only 5 weeks in.
but he's massive, man. It might take it anyway.
Can I just give you an exclusive that I've
though.
just seen on Twitter?
Harley Reid signed with West Coast.
It is revolving around Harley Reid. So exclusive, West Coast young gun Elijah Hewitt is adamant in-demand star Harley Reid won't be going anywhere. He'll be staying.
Elijah
He
Hewitt's
says.
come out.
Elijah
was he
Hewitt
in the cubicle? Did
has
he
come
was in the
out and
cubicle?
said he'll be staying.
He was the high-ranking West Coast official.
So Elijah Hewitt, after one of the great games,
Mate, the second
Yeah, he
half,
was good. He was really
blinder.
we liked that. He's come out and he's signed Harley Reid.
He's adamant. He's saying he's not
You've
going
always
anywhere.
had big raps on Elijah, haven't you?
I fucking loved, mate. Did you see some of the shit he was doing in the second half? He had 2 touches at half time.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Come out and had 20 in the second half. He was one hand spinning through tackles.
I remember you
kicking goals from
said, and you
60.
would have been the first. You would probably been the earliest on
Early.
this. I think it was maybe his first or his second game. He
Chris Judd.
yeah, that's what you said. Bounced through a couple of stoppages and kicked this big snap, and you said that's stuff Chris Judd used to do. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Elijah
Hewitt's good.
If he can
he's
start
just
doing
signed
it
Harley Reid.
consistently, he's not only best West Coast player ever, he's just signed Harley Reid. Imagine midfield, Harley Reid,
Chris
Elijah
Judd.
Hewitt, Chris Judd,
Chad
Gary
Warner.
Ablett, and
Bont.
Marcus Imagine Marcus Bontempelli and Chad Warner. West Coast are back.
Oh my god, they're back.
Well and truly back. We don't have a tipping winner. I'm so sorry to everyone.
'Cause the
You're
tipping's
just
not done yet.
desperate to find out who won. But the tipping is look. It's going to be a
How are we going?
Mate, I'll tell you how we're going. So I don't
for
know.
this round
Tell me your tip,
because we've been struggling.
Why would I tip Richmond
You thought they were going to win?
against Gold Coast?
Yeah, we said. I said.
Let me
told you
tell
last
you,
week they're going to
we've
win.
got
You're not
2 from
backing
8. We've got 2 from 8. Well, like, you
2
tell
from 8.
Brisbane Collingwood. You want me to pick Collingwood?
No, you had to tip. You had to tip Brisbane there. That's fair.
I picked the bonus to beat Carlton.
Fair enough.
Which is yes.
Fair enough.
Correct.
Tip us next week.
Correct. Bombers we get.
You would get the
So I'm
Bombers,
3 from 3 in terms of what I should have tipped.
Obviously, yep, of course.
I then picked the Dockers against Melbourne.
You should have done that. Yep.
I then picked the Giants against Adelaide.
You should have done that. Yep,
Right.
I agree.
I then picked the Suns to beat Richmond.
That was a questionable one.
That's bullshit, and you know
Yeah,
it.
you should have tipped Richmond.
And then I picked Sydney to beat Port at the SCG.
No, that's fair enough.
And so then I got the Bulldogs right. So I've got 2 from 8.
So I would, yeah.
Who would you pick tonight? Who would you picking today? I mean, Hawthorn's already won. Who are you picking?
Yeah, I'd probably have to tip the Hawks. Did we tip Hawks?
Yeah, pick the Hawks.
I think, yeah. I don't think many people will get. I think the best this round will be 5.
Big upsets, like
Huge upsets.
Massive.
I
Melbourne's
shouldn't-
an upset.
I probably shouldn't
Richmond
have-
is an upset.
I picked North as the upset, and I got it wrong, and every other upset happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we're picking favourites, so it's not going well.
All right, we'll give we'll announce it next week. 2 winners from this week and for next week on the tipping. Look out for that. Carlton's a shelter on offer, and also that $7,000 of value of prizes for the major winner at the end.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Huge prize.
So much prizes.
So much prizes.
Tell you, I won't be winning.
Yeah, no.
And $10 to anyone that beats you and Tammer on the tipping, which I'm maybe starting to regret.
Are you going to play golf today?
Yeah.
Who are you playing with?
I'm playing with Fuck You, Joel.
Are you allowed to be saying this, by the way?
Yeah, I am. I'm allowed to play. Yeah, don't worry about that. Fuck You, Joel.
Why would he not be allowed to
His
be
brother
saying
Chook
Well,
and his
last
cousin
time
Jack. Yeah, no, we're not allowed to talk about that. Yeah, Fuck You, Joel. Jack.
Joel Constable.
Joel Constable, his brother Charlie, and his cousin Jack.
Charlie Constable.
Yep, Chook. So yeah, we've just been getting on. Oh, geez, we got on the piss that day.
Did you?
Yeah, so we went. They came to my game Friday night. Actually, I did want to say something. They came to my game Friday night. We won that. We went to the Perth Demons game the next day.
You were up and about Friday night, coming in the rooms.
Yeah, massive.
You big fucking rhino.
Because I hate Claremont with a passion, and it was so good to just go and fucking beat.
You were steaming. I saw it on socials.
Where did you play? Was
at
it
Leadable under lights?
Oh,
Mate,
so
it was
good.
like kicking doors down and
Yeah,
shit
and
into
I
the
just
rooms.
I hate Claremont, so it was
Jeez,
good.
I'd love to play for you.
Yeah,
I should come back.
Let's go back. Anyway, went to the Perth Demons game and just sunk piss in the pig pen all day out at Lathlane.
What is that? The far side? Where else could you? Is it?
No. It's like in front of the old stand. It's just right. It's perfect. What a spot to drink.
near the
piss.
Hungry Jacks.
Near the Hungry Jacks. And then anyway, so it was me. It was Fuck You Joel, Em was there, Jack was there, our mate Ollie and his friend who, of all your friends who has cool names, what's the best name of any of your friends?
Nickname or real name?
Not as in like actual physical name.
Yep. Mike Rockefeller.
Mike Rockefeller's a great name.
And James Ratcliffe is pretty good.
James Ratcliffe, yep.
I reckon Joel Sneak.
I also reckon Sharad Wellingham.
Sharad Wellingham's an excellent name.
His middle name is
Nick
something
Nat-Nui.
strange.
Well,
Nick
I
Nat-Nui's
was drinking beers with a guy whose physical legal name was Billy Pickles.
No, it's not.
His name
No, it wasn't.
is Billy Pickles.
No, it's not.
It's the best name I've ever heard.
So is his name
Pickles.
William Pickles?
His name is William Pickles.
So
he gets
instead of Will, he's gone and
Billy.
Willie, he's gone Billy.
Billy Pickles. It's the best name I've ever heard. And geez, he could put him back.
In the YouTube chat, on Instagram,
I'd like-
wherever. I want a better name than Billy Pickles.
Get me a better name than Billy Pickles because that's his actual name.
You need a real one. Middle name?
I don't imagine that.
Could you find it out or not?
Clementine or something. Billy Clementine Pickles. Nah, Billy Pickles is the best name I've ever heard.
That's up there.
And he was drinking pints. He got kicked out of Besk. He went to, so we were upstairs and just sinking him and like had a full pint and they were about to leave. He said, yep, no worries, knocked it back. And it would have been his 15th for the day. Went to Besk for dinner and he got kicked out pretty quickly.
Got kicked out from dinner.
Besk is like a real chill.
Yeah, and Billy went in. How'd you get kicked out of
Does
Besk?
Billy really live up to his name? He was like, here comes Billy Pickles.
Billy, here comes Billy Pickles. And he let everyone know. He was just, great value. First time I met him. Shout out Billy Pickles.
I forgot. I do have one
Great
more.
name. Yep.
So one of Matt Spanger, who also a great name.
Great name, Spanger.
His best mate's name is Steve Waugh.
But not, yeah.
Actually, Steve Waugh. And so
And is it actually, like, is he just best friends with Steve Waugh?
No, not this Steve Waugh, but he'll introduce himself and go, "G'day, I'm Steve Waugh," and everyone will go, "Ha." And then he goes, "No, it's actually
My name.
Shane Warne." He introduced himself as Shane Warne.
That's good.
That's funny.
Shout out to our sponsors and partners
Yep,
for
obviously.
BackChat, keeping us going, keeping the lights on. Paywise, TABtouch, Shelter Brewing Co, Whippersnapper Whisky, ID Athletic, Mamba Digital, On One Services, Camera Electronic, and shout out to the East Perth Football Club. Another win. Hamish Brayshaw, we talking?
East
talking
Perth
Sando?
forever, boys. East Perth, East Perth, a great tradition with the premiership's our mission. East Perth forever, boys. And to the cause, woo! For the other mighty Royals, East Perth, the greatest team of all. Jeez, I'm
Scully's
happy.
coming back.
I'm pretty happy I knew every word of that.
Scully's coming back.
I'm playing full forward.
All right, see you next week. Bye.